Colorado athletics and a gambling company could kind of shift things around. But starting off with the NFL, Joshua Kelley making his debut, Chris Barnes making his debut, but really it's a long line of Bruins in the NFL. So we're talking today about who the best UCLA football player in the NFL is today. Jack, hit me with your answer.
Myles Jack, 100% the best UCLA football player that plays in the NFL right now. This dude was a running back in college, also a linebacker, but he was kind of a dual combo kind of guy, and then converted to linebacker, which we know UCLA has a long list of linebackers that have been very successful in the NFL. He was on that Jacksonville defense that took the Patriots to the edge in the AFC Championship game just a few years ago. He's really the only remaining vital piece left in Jacksonville, and he helped lead them to a win over a new look Colts offense. This dude is a beast on a team that sorely needs a defensive leader.
Yeah, I mean, Myles Jack is great at UCLA. He's keeping up in Jacksonville for sure. If you have any thoughts, if you guys are watching, leave them in the comments just so we can kind of get the discussion going here. My choice, though, it's a bit of a cop-out, but I feel like it's justified. You go Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks, both linebackers on the Vikings, kind of like a two-headed monster over there. I mean, Eric Kendricks, he averages like 115 tackles per 16 games in his career. Barr is closer to 80, but he's also gets 3 sacks every season. He's forcing fumbles. The two of them just total are just the perfect prototypical linebackers, and they've held down that defense for 5-6 years ever since they left UCLA. They're playing together. Myles Jack overlapped a little bit, but Barr and Kendricks, they are really the two standouts. And I think the way they have taken over and shaped the Minnesota Vikings defense in really the past decade or half decade, however you want to look at it, that's just great. I mean, the Jaguars had a great defense with Jack in the middle for a little bit there, but now he's just as good, but the defense around him isn't what it used to be. Part of what made Myles Jack so interesting and engaging at UCLA was that he was also a running back, like you said. Hasn't been a running back in the NFL, hasn't really showed off that dynamism in terms of playing both sides of the ball. He's definitely good, but in terms of commanding and running a defense, I don't think there's anyone like Barr and Kendricks. That tandem is just maybe the best linebacker duo in the league.
Let me hit you with a couple things, Sam. First of all, Leonard Fournette just released by Jacksonville. If they want to put Myles Jack back in the backfield, he would do great things. Why not, Jacksonville? Take a risk. Put Myles Jack back there. I know you don't want your defensive star injured, but no one really has played two positions in the NFL in quite a while, or at least not at the highest level. Why not Myles Jack? And then hitting you with the Bars and Kendricks. As good as they have looked, they have not elevated that Minnesota defense like they should have. It's been a good defense, and it's been a very good regular season defense, but it seems that every time they get to the playoffs, they fall off. And I mean, even this first week, they looked helpless against an Aaron Rodgers-led offense. What are you going to do there? I need to see someone that can come out and win games, and Myles Jack has proven he's a winner this season so far. I know it's only one game, small sample size, but he beat Phillip Rivers, who, if you don't know, I'm an LA Chargers fan. And Phillip Rivers was a god in LA and in San Diego. So if you can beat him, you're great in my book.
Yeah, I mean, Phillip Rivers is a little past his prime. I feel like you, of all people, should know that. But then Myles Jack isn't really the only guy in the NFL who can play both sides, even though he's definitely more athletic and better as a linebacker. I mean, you had Landon Roberts on the Patriots playing fullback, taking carries, blocking. So it's not unheard of. So right. I would like to think that the Jaguars can put Myles Jack in there as a running back, maybe let their lead back. But if he still had the athleticism and the ability to do it, I would like to think he would at least get some time there. But if he's not getting that time, then maybe he just doesn't have that in his game anymore. I know we like to go back to those UCLA days when he was playing both sides of the ball at an extremely high level, but that's just not really who he is anymore. So I feel like you can't really count that when you're talking about who's the best in the NFL. I mean, Joshua Kelley had 60 yards for a touchdown, and that's great and all. but that doesn't make him the best Bruin in the NFL. And I don't think that Miles Jack can even come close to that if he was jumped back into being a running back right now. It's been too long.
First of all, you can absolutely do that. You just need a good offensive line in